Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. So today I have the pleasure in introducing to you our new suite of Georisk reports. So as I'm sure many of you are aware, in January this year we acquired Mining Searches UK, and together we aim to lead the way in geospatial intelligence. After the incredibly successful launch of our official Con29M in February 2019, it quickly became apparent that we needed to bolster our report portfolio and our services with a non-coal option. So we will take a look at an overview of Mining Searches UK, how we work together to develop the report, and then I'll give you an idea of where the risks are and why a mining report is required, and then I'll go into the reports in a bit more detail for you. So Mining Searches UK have been established since 1978, and they are one of the longest standing mining specialists in the UK. Their inception actually came about because of mine closures in the Redruth and Camborne areas of West Cornwall. So there were some concerns raised by former mining engineers just around the extensive mining of the area and how this impacted the development of property. And so Mining Searches UK was born. The team's second to none understanding of mining risk assessment is underpinned by the expert knowledge transferred by those mining engineers who were actually designing the open mines. They have carried out in excess of 6,000 mining site investigations. They poured the largest volume of concrete into a single mining feature, and they have secured in excess of 10,000 mine workings. The data collated from these investigations and remediation work are unique to us and our reports. Mining Searches UK don't just compile data, they've been there, they've done it for over 40 years. They have a team of 13 mining and geology specialists, and they are on hand to help your clients every step of the way. And included in that, our team of experts here at Groundsure and environmental consultants are also there should your clients need anything or have any questions. So if we have a look at the data, mine record plans were sent to the Health and Safety Executive Abandonment Plans Department. So if there was ever a disaster, the plans were available instantly. We have the single largest collection of mining data in the UK, containing millions of historical mining features. Our collection includes complete digitised mining record office collections and abandonment plans for England and Wales. We also have all the plans from the Cornwall Records Office in both paper and digital formats. And then we have our own proprietary data in the form of our historical land use database, which is a collection of 1.5 million historical ordnance survey maps that we have digitised and actually singled out any features that might be a risk in any sort of environmental risk. So this all means that we can create a robust risk assessment for mining without the need for secondary reports or even delays to the initial report. All the data is available up front and included as standard within our reports, where other providers have to go to check these, which can take days to return. So the UK has a history of surface and underground mineral extraction. This dates back many centuries. Minerals powered the Industrial Revolution, providing the materials for most of the buildings, the infrastructure, the fuel and manufacturing industries in the UK throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. More than 60 different minerals have been mined, quarried and extracted across all counties in the UK, and they fall broadly into 5 categories. So we have metals, sometimes referred to as metalliferous. The extraction of metals is usually thought as being confined to Devon and Cornwall, but this type of mining is countrywide, and it includes much of the western side of England and Wales, and was extensively mined in regions such as the Peak Districts, North Wales, Somerset and Cumbria. Stone mining, which includes minerals such as clay, despite its association with the current commercial extraction of commodities such as ball and china clay in certain areas of southwest England, the mining and quarrying of clay resources was historically the most extensive exploitation of mineral resources in the UK. In addition to clay, there are numerous other minerals that have been extracted extensively around the UK, in particular limestone or chalk. These are two of the most heavily mined mineral resources present in England and Wales, and quarrying and mining of them continues today. Evaporites, most commonly brine and gypsum. Brine has been extracted as a solution for several areas of England, including Cheshire, so you might have heard of the Cheshire Brine Compensation District, but there's also Staffordshire, Lancashire and Worcestershire. Coal mining covers more than 11,000 square miles of England and Wales. There are over 170,000 coal mine entries known in the UK. However, only 1 in 3 are recorded within mine plans and maps, so there are many more out there. The UK has a fairly lengthy history of extracting oil and gas, dating back to around the 17th century in Kimmeridge in Dorset, although it wasn't really until the 1800s when oil and gas was extracted commercially and used to light the streets. However, since then, around 2,200 oil and gas wells have been drilled onshore, and all of the things on your screen can pose potential risks to property. So the following maps show the various mining risks in England and Wales. If you can see the grey area on the screen, this is the Cheshire Brine Compensation District, which, as you can see, covers a very small area. Then the mustard yellow shows the coalfield, which, as mentioned, covers more than 11,000 square miles of England and Wales. And now let's have a look at the non-coal area. It has been estimated that around 56% of properties will fall within the broad non-coal mining area. However, this does not mean that a report is definitely needed. We've done some really careful analysis of our data, which has been refined to ensure that we only identify a risk where there truly is one. And this indicates that 22% of properties in England and Wales will need a non-coal report, 39% of properties will need a non-coal and Con29M, and 40% will need a non-coal Con29M and Cheshire Soul Search. So as we've seen on the previous slides, there are large areas at potential risk from past non-coal mining activity. And this doesn't include the areas at risk from natural subsidence or collapse events. These incidents can be a financial burden to homeowners. It is also one of those matters where the purchaser has very little recourse. Unlike coal mining or brine extraction in Cheshire, where the homeowner is covered under legislation, any issues resulting from non-coal mining would be the responsibility of and at the expense of the homeowner. Looking to formal guidance, the Conveyancing Handbook is fairly comprehensive in terms of mineral extraction and ground stability. The handbook states that a property should be searched to identify whether further investigation of site-specific ground instability risks is required. However, many of the investigation options recommended only look at the wider area, and this is where the Georisk report comes in. So, to introduce you to the products, these will be going live on the 7th of September. Our reports are not just data. The value rests on unrivaled data sets and the analysis behind them. The reports deliver expert insight, interpretation, and an unbeatable understanding of natural and man-made ground risk to property. Georisk is the new non-coal conveyancing search for residential and commercial property. It provides a full assessment of non-coal mining with an option and next steps provided by our in-house mining experts. It looks at ground stability risk, so non-mining and then both natural and non-natural ground stability, and then satellite monitoring, which is recorded real-world ground movement data. Georisk Plus has all of the content of a Georisk report, plus a fully integrated Con29 official coal mining search, including a mine entry interpretive assessment as standard, and also a Cheshire Salt search where appropriate. Our Con29M is also the only report of its kind to consider the risk of mine entries outside of the prescribed 20-metre buffer, and it will ensure that any property within the zone of influence of a mine entry is reported on. The zone of influence is an area around the mine entry that could be affected if the mine were to collapse. The team at Mining Searches UK have calculated the zone of influence for each and every coal mine shaft within the official Coal Authority dataset. And then we have our Georisk certificates. Our certificate products will confirm the absence of risk without the unnecessary cost of surplus detail. These are available for the past scenarios of the content covered by the new report products, and they're available as a non-coal and stability certificate and a coal and brine certificate. The certificates are designed to only be purchased in scenarios where the property is acceptably free from risk. And we've also specifically created our new Georisk alerts, which means you can identify ground risk and provide your client with the right product at the right time. These will be delivered across 5 areas of ground risk, so coal mining, non-coal mining, satellite monitoring, ground stability and brine. Across these 5 risk areas, we have used and refined over 30 different data sets to ensure we don't over-report on risk. So coal mining is defined as whether the property is in or out of the official coal mining reporting area. Non-coal mining is determined by our careful analysis of data. This alert also includes our unique sinkhole data, recorded mining features from historical mapping, mine plans and various other data sets. We have sensibly refined the data with decisions made on the relevance to property down to the feature level. For example, a mine shaft could cause more issues from further away than a quarry, and so the distances we use are expertly qualified. This alert has been refined even further and halves the search distances in urban areas to ensure that we don't over-report. Brine, this is whether the property is within the Cheshire Brine Compensation District, as defined by the Cheshire Brine Subsidence Compensation Board. Ground stability, this is the area determined by analysis of natural ground stability data, and it's the trusted alert that has been used for many years by our clients. And then we have satellite monitoring from ground movement. So this provides an indication of recorded ground movement at property level. The data is updated every 6 days and is accurate to the millimetre. The alert will flag location-specific, notable or unusual levels of ground movement observed by measurements from satellite radar, with the potential risk defined by the experts in ground movement and modelling from the University of Leeds. If a potential risk is identified, then the Georisk Alerts recommends the appropriate risk alert. But it also recommends, as appropriate, our existing and trusted standalone ground risk reports, the Con29M official coal mining search and the Cheshire salt search. However, in these scenarios, where a property is within a coal mining or Cheshire brine area or both, plus a non-coal mining or ground stability area, then Georisk Plus is the best option, saving you and your clients time and money. But these alerts should mean that you never order a report unnecessarily. And here's a snapshot of how the reports will look. We always like to be consistent in the look and feel of new products. So as with all other Groundsure reports, we're using our house style, our report navigation, and the Groundsure IQ engine to filter data. So we only put data into the reports that is actually necessary and relevant to the property. If something's not flagged as a risk, then we don't fill the report out with maps and data that you don't need to look at and your client doesn't need to be concerned with. We want everyone to see the reports and be familiar with the layout. We've made them easier to read and navigate around, and not just for you, but for the actual property purchaser as well. This should stop them coming back and asking a load of questions and save everybody a load of time in the transaction. Each report will be provided with an overall professional opinion and a further breakdown of each risk category, clearly displayed on the front page. And then, unlike similar reports, all our recommendations and next steps will be supplied on page 2 of the report with a clear colour coding indicator. So gone are the days of sifting through pages of information to find out if there are any next steps. We highlight all the risks on the front page, and then page 2 will tell you and your client exactly what needs to be done on the basis of those risks. And then again, in true Groundsure House style, all data included within the report will be displayed on the back pages, just to ensure maximum transparency and so that you know that we've done our job properly and covered everything we should. For those data sets that have featured within the report, these are highlighted in bold, as you can see from that example on the right-hand side there. So if we delve a little deeper into the reports themselves, Georisk uses the unique Groundsure IQ engine to filter data, with 2 distinct summary sections always included to cover off the report's content. This is non-coal mining, which covers all aspects of mining-related information, and subsidence, which features data that relates to the instability of land, which could cause subsidence. The report includes over 50 data sets, with over half of these data sets being unique to Groundsure, making it the most comprehensive suite of mining reports available. The non-coal mining section of the report has 4 subcategories. These are the mining records, and this includes that unique data on past mining features and associated infrastructure that I mentioned earlier. This is derived from the mine plans and other sources collated and curated by Mining Searches UK from over 40 years of consulting. We have the historical land use, and this includes unique data on past mining activity. And this again is derived from the analysis of those 1.5 million high resolution historical ordnance survey maps that we hold here at Groundsure. We have geological features, which is data from the British Geological Survey, where geological features could indicate the presence of past mining activity. And then we have oil and gas extraction, which is information on exploration areas, either licensed and offered, alongside existing wells and unique to Groundsure, potential wells identified in the planning system, giving an advanced warning of future development and ground instability risk. The subsidence section also has 4 subcategories. This is satellite monitoring, and this is that data that's been analysed to measure real-world ground movement. This is produced by ground movement expert SatSense and updated every 6 days on a continuous cycle. The risk to property is summarised into a simple traffic light system across 6 risk indices relating to different spatial scales and types of movement. The only data of its kind to be used in this way. Natural instability. So this section covers a comprehensive set of natural instability data, including brand new BGS data on the risk from shrink swell subsidence. This never seen before data set provides a property specific assessment, taking into account the geology, the presence of trees, and also local building attributes such as the type of building, the age, the number of floors it has, etc., just to provide a clear hazard score. Areas of infilled land can often cause ground instability. Within this section, we will include historic and current landfills, along with unique and proprietary data derived from those historical maps and local authority records. And then sinkholes and caves, these are a natural phenomenon, but these can be induced by human activity. They are usually formed by the dissolution of soluble rocks, such as chalk and limestone. Within this section, we will provide a comprehensive overview of the likely presence of sinkholes based on media reports from 2014. And we actually had a few guys in the office who went through every media report of a sinkhole from 2014 and include that data within our reports. And then we supplement that by 3 additional data sets as well. So in terms of why Georisk should be used, we have, as I mentioned, the best expert analysis. It's the only suite of mining products that you can get all from one provider. And it's the only report on the market created by mining experts with in-the-field experience. We provide clarity and transparency with optimized design and navigation, brought to you by the leading brand in property searches. And then we have a fully comprehensive and unique set of data. And then we have that unique data from SatSense as well. And obviously we have been compiling these reports for close to 20 years now. And we like to think that we know how you want them to look and feel and what sort of data sets you would like to have in them. So we would urge you to have a look at these when they come out and let us know what you think. And we've done a lot of research with conveyancers and solicitors before we produce the reports, and all the feedback has been pretty good as well. So any sort of risk assessment that we have on the reports, every individual element will receive its own bespoke assessment, and these individual assessments then contribute to the overall professional opinion. We are introducing a new state on these reports which we'd never used before, which is information. And this will be used when there is a feature outside of the search distance being a cause for concern and where the next steps are more prudent rather than recommended. For example, if there's an infilled land record that is 200 metres away, it's not close enough to cause a significant issue, but is of interest and a prudent purchaser may wish to carry out a next step, and these will feature as grey within the report. Action will be required when the client needs to make a significant step, i.e. undertake a visual inspection or a site walkover for non-coal mining. Potential risk will be used when the client needs to be aware of a potential risk, but the next step is less significant. A pass is a pass and speaks for itself. And in terms of the recommendations that we offer, Each element of the report will contain recommendations where necessary. These recommendations will be bespoke to that element of the report. And for the non-coal mining element, these recommendations may require some more detailed investigation and next steps. So these will include a visual inspection, and this will help identify visible defects and signs of mining-related settlement or subsidence effects. We've got foundation inspection, which is required when mining features have been identified and the property is undergoing construction, whether that's a new build, a rebuild, or an extension. The site walkover is a walkover of the land where mining has been identified by one of our searchers. The geologist will look for any signs of mining subsidence or settlement, any visual of any shafts or workings. Then we have intrusive site investigation. This would usually entail either drilling or trenching. Both are designed to aid in the identification of mining features and ground conditions. And if the property has been recently constructed, a suitable pre-construction site investigation to clarify mining risk may have been undertaken. We recommend the details of this investigation are sought from the developer or the local authority, and we will also include specific recommendations for all other aspects of the report. And then just in terms of pricing, the pricing on your screen is excluding VAT, but as you can see, both Georisk certificates are 15 quid across the board. The Georisk residential is £40 excluding VAT, up to 100 hectares. And then the Georisk commercial goes up in those incremental steps, but up to 15 hectares, it's £85 plus VAT. And then the Georisk Plus, which is the one that includes the Con29M and Cheshire Salt Search where necessary, that is 50 quid plus VAT, going up to 100 hectares for residential, and those incremental steps again for commercial, but it's £90 plus VAT for up to 15 hectares, which is where about 98% of commercial transactions take place within that boundary anyway. Then you can see the turnaround times there, 24 hours for residential, and a commercial report will be 48 hours. And that's everything from me. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.